Hey, thank y'all for joining us today, man. We're going to talk about some awesome love and relationships, self-love, all that good stuff, man, here today. But we're talking about, in particular, what are we talking about today, love?
We are still covering the book, His Needs, Her Needs. This is the last episode in this series, in this 6-part series. So today we're talking about her need for family commitment and his need for admiration.
His need for admiration. That really... I need some admiration every now and then.
Yeah.
So, man, stick with us. We're going to talk about all that and more.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Sid the Entertainer. I'm asking y'all to check out the Loveology Podcast. This is...
Hello, and welcome to the Loveology Podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one. And we're married. We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. All right, man. Welcome to the Loveology Podcast, man. We are live with the video this time. It's our first video.
Doing big things.
Had to do some upgrades, man. If you want to listen to our past episodes, it's all audio. You can go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, man, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Spotify. Just Google us or go to loveologypodcast.com and it'll be right there for you in that media player. But from this point forward, we're doing all video. So let's jump right into it. This 6-part series, love. Let's end it off with the video with a burn.
Yeah, I just want this.
I have to give a shout out. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to say y'all making us work harder. You know, y'all been asking for the video. We want to see y'all. Okay, well, here we are.
We here now. That's old news.
Yeah, so we're excited. We're excited to take it up a notch with the video. So bear with us if things, I don't know,
things are going just great.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm happy I'm here in front of you guys today.
Yeah,
let's go.
Me too. I'm excited. So, like Jason said, we're ending a 6-part series, the longest series that we ever did. But this book right here, His Needs, Her Needs.
Zoom in on that book.
Zoom in. Yes. It was an awesome book. It talked about the 10 emotional needs that this one author had identified that most, on average, men and women need. Okay. And so, we've just been breaking it all the way down, basically doing 2 needs per episode. So this episode, again, we will be talking about his need for admiration.
I need it.
Oh, God.
Yes, I need it. Give my admiration.
All the ladies already know. I'm just like, dude, why y'all need so much admiration? Jeez. But anyway, her and also her need for family commitment.
Okay.
Okay.
We can rock with that.
So actually, first we're going to be discussing her need for family commitment. Okay.
Come on, let's go with it. I'm ready.
Listen, this was a big one for me. Okay. When I was dating, look, if you don't look like you're going to be a good father, I'm not even trying to date you. Okay. I'm gauging that all the way.
Right.
So basically, I have a strong emotional need for commitment. Oh, before I forget, if this is your first time joining us, definitely go look at those past 5 episodes or listen to the past episodes, because this book would make more sense, or what we're talking about today will make more sense if you have listened to those episodes. Okay.
And also, if this is your first time joining us, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up and tell us where you're from. We want to know where you're from. We got people all around the world. We've been downloaded in 70 plus countries. So we want to know where you guys are from. So leave a comment in the comment section. Feel free to comment as you're listening. You know what I'm saying? So we can answer some of those questions and get back to you.
Oh, okay. So her need for family commitment. Okay. Like I said, this one was definitely a big one for me. As I was dating, I was looking for this a lot. This is a very strong emotional need for me. So again, about this book, I really love that he tells stories. This one was pretty juicy. This story.
Juicy? What's so juicy about that?
Because, well, this one story is about a woman who, you know, marries this guy, and she kind of knew beforehand that he didn't really care for her parents too much, but she figured, you know, things would change after they got married. But no, things did not change, right?
Jesus.
And actually, he didn't even want too much to do with his own family. She tried to invite him to, you know, her family events and things like that. And, you know, he just wasn't interested in going. He's just not a family-oriented person. Mm-hmm. And the kids came, right? So she continues to be married to him. So now the kids come, and he still.
So they got pregnant.
Huh?
You said the kids came.
Yes, Jason.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, everybody not on it.
Well, it doesn't matter if they adopted the kids or not.
I'm just saying, I didn't know how the kids came.
They got here. They had children. Okay?
Just saying. All right.
So they had children, and he still wasn't, you know, too concerned about being with them, spending time with them, right? So his cousin was starting to hang around and like kind of fill in that void for him. And the wife one day opens up and tells the cousin, you know, I really appreciate you. Actually, I'm really, you know, upset at, you know, how my husband, your cousin, is not really being there for the children. And so the cousin says, you know what, I'm going to do what I can. I sympathize. I really love the children. I want to do what I can. And of course, what do you think happened?
She didn't do nothing.
Huh? He didn't do anything?
Yeah.
He did.
Okay.
He was around the kids. Then she started hanging out with him, and they hanging out together as a family.
Yeah.
Well, not a family, but they're hanging out together.
You already so what happened? She went with him?
Yeah, she cheated with this man's cousin.
Oh wow.
Because
that's a no-go. It's a no-go.
Yeah. Because her need for not emotional support, family commitment was a big one.
Yeah.
And she was actually falling out of love with her husband or becoming less attracted to him because she's so disappointed with this, you know, this area.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a big.
That was a big no. It was probably really up there.
Really up there.
Not number one, probably number two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up there for me.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, so luckily.
So you saying if I don't, you know what I'm saying, if I drop the ball on, you know, being around the kids and helping you out, you going to, what's the process?
Cheat with your cousin?
Yeah. What's that process?
What do you mean the process?
Like what would you do if I started kind of not being in the kid's life as much and not helping you out as much?
I mean, luckily I don't like to really talk about.
But what about for people that are possibly going through that?
You know, of course you need to talk about it.
Yeah, communication.
Right? Communication.
Yeah.
And explain to them just how bad this makes you feel that they are not involved in the children's lives. You know, I like I said, I was looking for it, actively looking to make sure that this man that I married wanted to be a father and wanted to be an active participant in their life.
Yeah.
You know, not just, you know, I don't know. Because sometimes some men mean well, right?
Right.
But maybe their father was the provider and they went to work and that's what they did.
Right.
And the mother took care of all of the other stuff.
So you're saying just because you grew up in a certain way that your mom and dad did things, or your mom by itself did things, doesn't necessarily mean that's going to translate into your current.
It doesn't have to, right? Just because like you need to decide.
Because it's different people. Right.
We say a lot in this podcast that you need to decide what works best for you, right? And your relationship.
Right.
So you know, hey, some women don't have this strong emotional need that the father is, you know, very present. She doesn't mind doing the bulk or the lion's share of the work. Right. But that's not me. Like, no, I need you. I want him here, you know? But I mean, I think about The Rock. Like, I think me and my sister was having this conversation. He's out. I don't know what their schedule is like, right? But it seems like he's working like all the time. Like The Rock is like the hardest working person. Right.
Getting it in, him and Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
both
and
of them
Kevin Hart. So
shout out
like,
to The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Right. and so, you know, maybe they need a wife who, of course a man should definitely be there for their children, but
Right.
if that's the way that their marriage is set up, where I'm cool if you go make that money and I will do the majority of this, I don't need you as much, then that's what they want in their relationship. And I don't know them. I don't know if that's how their relationship is, but I'm just saying,
Right.
from the outside looking in, it seems like those gentlemen work a lot.
Right. No, it does like they work a lot.
Yes. And so that means that the mother is doing the majority of, the child rearing and you know,
Right.
just being there for the children.
Exactly.
Right. It's
Yeah.
the majority of it, right?
Right.
Not saying that they're not there for their children. They look like they're there for their children.
Right.
Too,
Right. Oh yeah.
So, so yeah, again, we say a lot. Do what works best for your relationship. Figure out, and before you get into a relationship, figure out what's important to you. I already knew that was important to me.
Right.
I don't want you gone all the time, and I don't want that.
Right.
So if you think about these things and know really what you want, and somebody come into your life that they're not sharing the same, ideas about it, then y'all not compatible.
Mm-hmm.
I knew
Exactly.
Jason really wanted to be a father.
For sure. For sure.
So you want to say anything about that? Like,
Yeah, no, I always wanted to be a father. I mean, I think mainly because maybe I didn't have my father, he left when I was 2, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's a lot of things that happen when, you can't put all that blame on, on a certain one individual, you know what I'm saying? We understand now that society has put a target on our back, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of is trying to split up the family, and it successfully split up me, my mom, my brother. It split up our family, but it still didn't take away the desire. I want that family, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so by me not having a father present in our household, it it just drove that passion even more to be there, not only to have children, but also be there in my children's lives, and so that's why I want that.
yeah, I think that's pretty much why it was the reverse, I guess. Well, not the reverse. It was the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to make sure that my children have their father, because
Right.
my father was not there
Right.
around, during a lot of my childhood, right?
Right.
So, I was just like, no, I'm going to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do all that by
Yeah.
myself. So,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah, back to that story. The author did say that, affairs like theirs are not very common, but they do happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not coming.
It's not common to cheat with somebody's cousin,
I don't know. I don't know. Hey, leave it. What y'all think? Yeah, look. Let me put that in there. Look, go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what y'all think. What's y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Is that common? Have you heard of that? Has it happened to you? You know what I'm saying?
I hope not. I really do.
Drop it in the comments, please.
So I'm just going to read a quote from the book. He said, I still believe that the vast majority of women have a powerful instinct to create a family. Above all, women want their husband to take a leadership role in their family and to commit himself to a moral and educational development of the children. The ideal scenario for a wife is to marry a man who she can look up to and respect, and then have her children grow up to be like their father. Listen, hey, I think that is a great way to, if you're dating somebody, I think that's a great way to decide if you want to continue on.
Right.
When I have children with this man, am I going to look up to and respect him, and are our children going to be able to look up to him and respect him?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say that initially, though.
Why?
Because, especially men, you know what I'm saying? We change, we grow, you know what I'm saying? And depending on the age group that you're in, sometimes that growth is going to be, a big jump, as years go by. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all plan on just dating for a while and you don't plan on having kids until 10 years later, 10 years from now. That person's going to be a totally different person.
Yeah,
most
but
likely.
There's still a base of, you always talking about respect. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
there's still like, I needed to, even though you've grown a lot and I've grown a lot, when we got married, I felt that way about you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like I said, but we was a little bit older. Some of our viewers and listeners, they may be 18, 19, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. You gotta keep that.
Okay.
Keep that in account. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that when you making these decisions on how long, do you plan on, like, you can see the foundation of a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's what I mean.
Okay.
I think that's what I mean. Like, of course, we will all grow and improve, but
because even though I wasn't at this point that I am now,
right?
But you knew I love to learn. You know what I'm saying? It may not be in the form of reading a lot of books, but I'm constantly, trying to figure out how to, look at stuff, figure stuff out. So with that basis, that kind of gives you an insight that, well, maybe we can I can work with this canvas. Yeah,
you have a good heart, right? You respected me. You acted respectful. You communicated well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the foundational things are there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You're right.
So
I'm just saying. I gotta throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? We got people from all walks of life listening and watching.
Yeah, I understand. I appreciate you, honey.
Yeah.
Admiration. Words of affirmation.
All that. I need all that.
But yeah, I mean, fathers have a profound influence on his children's lives.
Yeah.
That's basically a quote from here. But it's you guys are very important. Sometimes we don't,
Sometimes we don't give us no credit.
Listen, I give you a lot of credit. Okay?
I'm just saying, you're saying sometimes we don't finish a statement.
As a society. We as a society.
Oh, okay.
Am I saying it? We as a society.
Yes.
Sometimes, listen, women, we do a lot, right? So yes, Mother's Day is a bigger deal than Father's Day. But I tried to make Father's Day a big deal in this household, don't I?
Yeah.
We made you a crown this last time.
Hey.
We made a little picture with the handprints, and we did like a dinner. Hey,
all that.
Because yes, I am also in agreement that fatherhood is very important, and yes, y'all have a great influence on kids. Yeah. So on your children.
Oh yeah.
So there's two areas that the author's saying, if you're struggling with this, dads, fathers, husbands, here's two things you need to know. Okay. Parenting takes time.
True that.
Lots of time. Right?
No, yeah, for sure.
So just like in a relationship, it takes time. We need to communicate with each other to stay connected to each other. So does parenting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read a quote again. A man should devote time to his family. He can strengthen both his marriage and his ties with his children by developing what I call quality family time.
Okay.
This is not to be confused with childcare tasks like feeding, clothing, and watching over children to keep them safe. Those are domestic tasks that were discussed in the last chapter. So we talked about the man needs for domestic support. So women do that, but y'all need to be doing that too, right? Everybody need to be doing it. Quality family time is when family is together for the moral and educational development of the children.
Right.
Discipline and things like that. And just educating.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So yeah, I think I hear a lot of people now saying, family time. I think Jason and I are still working on a routine for this, because I would like for Sundays to be our like family time where we play board games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Our children.
So I can whoop up on y'all. Play some spades, dominoes.
Didn't I whoop you in something not too long ago?
Never nothing.
I was so close. There was this game we were playing one time.
Never in nothing.
I did. I beat you in a basketball game one time.
Come
on, pool game.
Man, I let you win some of those pool games.
I'm so tired. No,
you all right in pool though.
I am.
You all right in pool. I get it. We ain't played pool in a while.
Yeah.
It's been some years.
Yeah, but
you all right in pool.
So yeah, schedule your time, right? In previous episodes, he talked about, we talked about the need for intimate conversation and like having undivided attention with each other. And so this author recommended that you spend at least 15 hours a week of undivided attention.
Right.
So he's actually making the same recommendation for spending time with your children.
Yeah, it's important. A relationship is all about communication and time. You know what I'm saying? So 15 hours a week may seem like a lot initially, but if you break it down, it's really not that much. And you can watch a movie, you can talk about all types of topics. You know, I'm pretty sure we can, you know, you can find something to talk about if you don't have anything to talk about. It's always something to talk about, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess we're talkative. We have a podcast, so we can always talk. We talk our heads off. We seem like we don't have enough time in a day to even, you know, we want to talk
through
more.
with everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I do agree with him, especially if you have young children, and we do. We have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and we plan to spend as much time with them as possible during these early years.
Technically, he's 1. But.
Well, he almost 2 months. 2 months he'll be 2. Yeah, so he's 2 months. He's 2 months away from being 2 years old. So
yeah.
Well, I know what you mean, but so. You know, I think that it pays off when they become teenagers, right? That's what I think when we talked to a couple that had been married for almost 30 years, it was 29 years.
Yeah, 29 years of marriage. Go check out that episode. Got to go, it's the audio version only. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Go to loveologypodcast.com. Go check out that.
Yeah, I think it was called Lessons from a 29-Year Marriage or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, they definitely...
It's a couple out here in LA, Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, so... They gave us some gems about, you know, parenting and relationships, and one of their pieces of advice about parenting was spend time with your children, right? And be invested in them.
Yes.
And that will help everything. Your relationship with them, how they behave, and all of that stuff, right?
Right.
So here's some ideas of some ways that you can get in some family time. Meals together as a family.
Yeah. Cooking, that it, definitely,
That's family time.
What's some ideas on that? What, some pizza? What's some
pizza night?
Kids you can make with the kids.
Yeah,
what's some food that you can make with the kids. Pizza, tacos,
anything. It depending on their age. I mean, they can just do stuff like wash the vegetables, right?
Yeah, I remember we doing that.
Yeah, we washed vegetables. Jordan washed vegetables with me. Now she's older, where she can, you know, I put a chair up to the stove and she take a spatula and do whatever we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, so, just pouring water in a pot, right? Like, so yeah, different things like that.
True that.
Here's some more: going out for walks and bike rides.
I like the walks.
Yeah,
I really do. I like the walks and the bike ride. I got like a little bike with the, I mean, you know, but the little carriage in the back, and so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Attending church services, family meetings, playing board games together, which is what I want us to do. Do like a family night of us playing board games together. Reading to the children before bedtime. Helping children with financial planning. Family projects and household tasks. Hey, cleaning together is spending time together.
Man, that's perfect.
Folding some towels. We talking and folding towels at the same time.
Well, they got to be old enough to be able to do that.
Jordan fold towels with me.
Yeah, Jordan can do it really good. You saw when she organized downstairs, little hallway. I said, man, you did better than me. Good job.
Yeah, so talking, you know, while you're folding clothes, especially if they are older, though, you know, definitely. Because I only let Jordan fold towels with me.
Because Isaiah just going to throw them all over the place.
Exactly. But yeah, if they're old enough to fold towels together, they're learning 2 things at one time. We are spending time together, and we are cleaning up. We are doing household tasks. So I think that's awesome. You know, think about cleaning as an opportunity to talk to your children.
Yeah.
And because a lot of parents will clean without their kids, even though they're old enough to help them. Like, let's all get in here and wash these dishes together, and let's talk and have some family time. How about that? And so that's some way to find, you know, some easy ways to find room in your schedule for family time.
Yeah, you're right on that.
Okay.
Right on the money.
All right. Parenting takes training. This is the second thing that people needs to know.
Okay.
Lots of training. And I think this is interesting because I don't know if this is like a cultural thing, but I feel like maybe I shouldn't say that.
Come on.
But I kind of feel like black men, like y'all kind of like more like, I know what I'm doing. Y'all want to discipline your children, right?
Yeah.
Like, I really haven't heard too many black women complain about their husband not wanting to discipline the kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I hear about this, is people of other races, they're saying, he doesn't want to discipline. He makes me do all the discipline. y'all black men, y'all be going too far. Like, I was like y'all too, sometimes y'all are a little tough, like really, really tough, you know?
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say too far. I'm just saying, like, you guys are like, you want your children to be very, very disciplined, you know, like.
Yeah. I mean, so here's the deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take it too far back, but all right. So first of all, let me say this. Other people, other men of different cultures, they discipline children too.
I'm not saying that.
I'm talking about what you saying. We go extra hard, but it's like we just don't hear of these other cultures going. You know, we're not in those cultures, so we don't know. I'm pretty sure if you talk to some Asian communities, they're very strict on their children, right?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go to Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they're strict. I believe that goes back to we're people. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody have their own form of strict, you know, guidelines for their children. Right. I mean, I think it's our job as men to make sure everybody's in line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's exactly the attitude that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. So
hold on. But pertaining to a black man, right? As we understand now, I think more and more now we understand that in 2020 that we have been treated unfairly in this country, right? We can agree to that. We see that now, right? Yeah. So therefore, it has to be in order for us to survive. Naturally, we have to be a little bit more rigid when it comes to a little bit more firm when it comes to the discipline, because inside the household, you get passes. You know, you could get a timeout. You can get stuff taken away from you. But outside the household, it turns into your life can get taken away.
I understand that.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's important. It's very, very, very important for us to follow these rules, right? Mm-hmm. And when you take that man outside of that household equation, now, you know, you're just out here. You're almost like a sitting duck because you don't know that certain things that you're doing could cause you to lose your life in this country.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see how that could be added pressure for sure for you as the father.
No pressure. I got it.
Okay. Okay.
No pressure at all. That's just the way it has to be. It's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so I just found that interesting though, because like, sometimes when I'm reading things like this and when I hear people say, you know, he wasn't involved with the discipline, like I was like, well, that's just not my experience at all.
Right.
So and I don't know very many women whose experience that was, right. But this section was also talking about, you know, again, like the need for training. So I also think that where something people could bat heads on in a relationship is that I think women are more likely to like pick up a book and want to explore some different options when it comes to discipline and things like that. And maybe the father is not so quick to do something like that. So, you know, it's two ways. Either you're a father who just doesn't know anything about children, you know, you need to get some training. Sometimes people think, you know, stuff will come naturally.
Yes.
Some stuff will come naturally. But
I don't know. I think we as men, we have that natural ability to discipline. Don't get me wrong, fellas. It's okay to listen and read the books and listen to the YouTube videos, but you have something inside that's telling you, hey, you don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, but we have to figure out better ways for our children to be able to receive it.
Well, because again, like we were talking about before, about just because your parents did it this way doesn't mean that that was the best way to do it. Right. Maybe that was the best way that they knew how to do it. Maybe they didn't have the resources that we have now, or maybe they were like more in survival mode than we are. You know?
Right. True.
I think I saw, I heard about.
Or they was more stressed out than we were. So like you said, survival mode.
So some of the stuff that was happening, you know, they was stressed out.
Yeah. They might not gonna admit to it, but they was stressed out, man. Had a lot on their shoulders.
Yeah. And so it's So like this whole, not asking why, which they talk about in this book. I get irritated when our daughter asks why, right? So I say, go do that. Why? So when I
like it.
See, I mean, some people's like, because I said so, get out of my face and go do what I told you to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But is that the best way to train your child? Like, is it okay?
They
for
should
them
be
to ask?
asking why.
Right.
They should be. So you gotta allow them to be them. You know what I'm saying? If that's who they are, they're that type of person. Because that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm always asking why. How did this work? What's going on? Why are we doing it this way? You want that type of thought process going on. When you tell a child early on, don't worry about it. Do what I say. Do what I say. Don't do as I do. Right? That confuses the child.
Yeah.
That'll confuse me. That'll confuse you. If you at your job and you say, well, I don't understand. I like how to flip it like that. You at your job and you don't understand why we doing it a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And you ask, well, can we, you giving out suggestions. See, the problem is we look at children as they're just little kids. They don't know no better, right? But they're humans.
Small humans.
They're small humans.
Just got a smaller body.
They just like us, right?
Yeah.
They're learning. They have to learn so much, right? So don't discourage them on asking questions or asking why. Just be articulate enough to explain what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And encourage that, right? Because like I said, your boss you go to your boss, say, well, I don't know why we doing it this way. And the boss come back, say, don't worry about that. Just do what I tell you to do. You're not going to like that.
Right.
You know, so it's going to turn you off. Exactly. And eventually you're going to, guess what you're going to do? You're going to say, if that type of behavior continues to happen, you're going to say, well, I'm going to get a new job. Cause they're not listening to my ideas. That's what Jordy say, right? Sometimes
you're not listening to my ideas.
Right. So, but the problem is the children can't fire your mom and your dad. That's your mom and your dad.
Right.
So we got to work together to build this family structure. You know what I'm saying? To have a more strong, cohesive structure. So as they grow, things can be thrown off a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah. From what I can see, the more time you spend with your children and the more they look up to you and respect you and they want to do what you ask them to do. And
because they're looking for somebody.
Right.
They're looking for somebody to look up to get these questions answered about this brand new world. Right. They want it to be you, mom and dad, naturally, right? Or whoever's the parent, parent role. Right. But if you're not giving them that avenue, they're gonna seek and find some other avenue. And that's how not knocking anybody in a situation or what walk of life that you're in, but think about that's how different gang organizations or terrorist organizations or these different organizations, hate groups, because they're searching and sometimes they're not getting in the household, so they may search and take hold of somebody that doesn't have the best interest for them, and they're going to use them and manipulate them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So maybe some training. If you're a father listening and you don't feel like you're a good father, we can take some classes, we can read some books, and maybe that's just not your strength, but you can grow. Right.
Right.
So don't do the other thing, which is just shut down and run away. Right.
Right.
Let's work on it. And same thing with mothers, right?
Right.
Some things are going to come naturally, but some things you need to get some advice for.
And just to throw this out there as well, because I know we have a lot of different people watching and listening to us. All organizations that appear bad may not be bad. Like the Black Panther Party. When they first started, it wasn't a bad thing. I mean, it's still not a bad thing, right? But people look at it as a bad thing. Some of these gangs, when gangs first started, it was to help the community, strengthen the community, but things happened and kind of threw things off. So, let's not just put a blanket approach on everything. Some things that look like it's labeled bad could be technically good. It's just how it's labeled.
Like what? Like, what do you mean?
Like I said, some.
No. I mean, like in regards to what we're talking about.
Well, we were just talking about how the child can get latched on to a wrong organization
okay.
or group. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a couple of rules. He gave a couple of basic guidelines. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go deep into all of them.
Yeah.
But he gave a couple of guidelines for fathers. So learn how to reach agreement with your wife. Mm-hmm. None of this, you know, how kids try to play parents and they'll say, come to daddy and ask for something. Right. And he say no. And then come to mom and ask for it and she give it, or the other way around.
Right.
Like, no, we need to be a united front. Right.
Right.
And people do that and they don't think it's that serious. I take that very seriously.
Oh yeah.
Me and Jason take that very seriously. Like, we don't play about that. No. If I say we have to agree on whatever it is with Jordan, I'm not going to go behind his back and give her some cookies when he said he don't want her to have cookies. Right. Right. Exactly. Like, we have to come to an agreement first, and you won't do that either. So yeah, we take that very seriously. Right. I know people be joking about that, but it's not cool to me.
Nah, because it's dividing the front. Y'all need to be together on it. Both of y'all together. But
okay. Number 2 was to learn how to explain the rules.
Okay.
Let's see. Going back to what we were saying, kind of like telling kids because I said so, you know. Mm-hmm. He was also saying that may not be the best approach to that, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's throw that out the window. Yeah,
he said in situations when a child is asking why, you can clearly communicate your moral ethical and personal values if you patiently answer the whys. Right. So it's a teaching opportunity. And every time a child asks why, it's a teaching opportunity.
And also you can explain, you know, because sometimes you need to say, just come on, let's go, you know, and you can explain that in emergency situations, you know, I don't have time to explain it now. I can explain it later. So just kind of throw that out there. Hey, it's an emergency. You know, during an emergency. So when you say it's an emergency, they should automatically know, okay, I get an explanation later. Yeah. But you got to set that stage though.
I absolutely agree with that. Number 3 was learn how to be consistent.
Number three.
Don't be doing stuff, you know, just because you're in a different mood, right? Like,
you stressed out at work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say about the time, right? You mentioned time, and I think that's why we don't want to explain the why to the children. Wow. Most of us don't have limited amount of time, and we just like, I ain't got time to be explaining myself. Right. Just do what I tell you to do. Right. Let's do it. Let's go.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes as a parent, you definitely have to slow down.
No, that's important.
And just, you know, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's important. You got to do it.
You got to slow it all the way down.
Got to do it.
So yeah, learn to be consistent. Let's just stay consistent with the discipline, with what the expectations are. Let's stay consistent. Learn how to how to punish properly. Yeah, he's going into, I think he's got like a certain age range where he feel like corporate punishment is, you know, okay to do. And then after a certain age range, it's not. So he says he feels like anything, but when children between the ages of 8 and 12, a non-corporal punishment is more appropriate and far more effective. Right?
That's what they say.
That's what he says. He said by the time a child becomes a teenager, punishment should be quickly phased out in favor of incentives.
Okay, initiative. Okay.
Corporal punishment that is inflicted on older children can leave an emotional scar that persists throughout their lives. So we ain't gonna get into corporal punishment. We're gonna let y'all decide what y'all want to do about that. Y'all can check this book out and read some more about it, you know. But his needs, her needs. So he's going into how to properly punish. It's up to you. It's your, you know, it's your family. You know, it's whatever you decide to do with your family.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so unique about our podcast. You know, we bring in some of our personal situations, which is not, you know, it's ours, right? And then we also listen to other people's situations, right? We bring them on the show as well, right? And then we also have, you know, we do a lot of research and they talk to a lot of people. So you don't have to do all the research, all this and that. We bring all this information to you, right? And we're learning, right? We're not experts on the subject, but we're just going through this. And as we're going through this, guess what? It actually improved our marriage. Like that's awesome. Like does this stuff works? Yes, it works. I promise you it works. If you listen to these episodes, right, and if it does not change you, and it doesn't matter if you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a fiance, or a wife, or a husband just yet. Start with you. That's where it starts. Starts with you. And we have all these topics can help you be able to position yourself in a better position to find your mate, right? Or if the mate's coming to you, you'll be able to shift through them quicker, right? And it's all about the knowledge. And they say people perish because lack of knowledge. And we bringing all this knowledge to you.
Amen.
So you don't have to do a lot of researching. Just come to us every week. We got you, right? His needs, her needs.
Right.
Read that book.
Absolutely. Okay. Number 5, learn how to handle anger. He says you shouldn't discipline when you're upset. I totally agree.
I agree with that as well.
That's all I'll say to that. Don't let parenting compete with romance. This is a big one.
Don't let parenting compete with romance. Talk to me.
Well, just don't let it get in the way of your relationship, right? Make sure that you're spending time. Like, parenting takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. Let's make sure that we keep that energy flowing too for our partner, right? We need to make sure that we are connecting with each other.
So they saying that basically carve some time out for parenting and carve some time out for, romance in your relationship. I think that's obvious, right? But
it's hard to do, actually. Once you get into parenthood and all this other stuff, it's actually really hard to do.
What about, because they be talking about this, like if y'all disagreeing on how you're parenting your child, maybe the woman may withhold the goods because she disagrees with how you parenting your child. You think they're talking similar to that?
No, that's not what you're talking about.
Just throwing it out there. I know it happens.
No, he's just saying making
it. You know that happens, right?
I know. I don't do that.
All right. No, I'm just saying, you know that. I'm just saying, you know that it happens.
Yes, I've heard some women saying that they do that. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, now listen, if you being a, you know what, right?
A butthole.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do it. Like, I'm not trying to punish you or anything.
But mentally it throws you off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just that. Now, some people will just purposely withhold it. I wouldn't say that, that I ever did anything like that. But yeah, if we're fighting, I'm not trying to do it. So, So here's a quote. He says, affairs are extremely common when a couple has their first child. Divorce is also more likely to occur during that year. Isn't that sad? The cause for these tragic events is usually a couple's failure to meet each other's basic needs. The priority of parenting competes with the priority of romance, and parenting wins. Because it is such a time consuming and you have to be consistent.
Right.
And it is, you have to dedicate a lot of time to it. People put their relationship on the back burner.
Right.
You can't do that.
Nah.
Yeah?
Nah.
No good. Okay?
Yes.
That's it for that.
Okay, let's get into the men. Dang, we spent 45 minutes.
I know. Well, because we had to talk about kids and stuff like that.
Boy, you see how they put us on the back burner, man. Come on, man. Let's get into the fellas, man. We need this admiration. Let's go.
His need for admiration. Okay? Y'all just want to be praised all the time.
Man, keep your eyes straight. Don't be rolling them eyes.
Jason's love language is words of affirmation.
Yes.
So this definitely is true for him. He needs a lot of admiration. He needs to be told, you're doing a wonderful job, honey. We appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Look at him. So here, why does the male need admiration? What do you think?
Probably because we don't get it.
That is not true.
I just think maybe that's when we don't get it. We want to know. We want to know that we're doing a good thing. We want to know we're going in the right direction. And if somebody tells you good job, that means you're doing a good job.
So this author says that it is a great motivator for you all. I heard someone say that everything that a man does, he does for women. First is for the mama. It's for his mama, and then it's for his wife.
Hey.
Is to get a wife and to keep a wife.
So if all you need, in order your car to run, right? You need some gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go to point A to point B smoothly, you gonna put some gas in the car or what?
Yeah.
Of course. So motivate us, baby. That's all we want. We want a little motivation. That should be a daily thing. Mm-hmm. You should set an alarm on your phone for the ladies out there. Set an alarm on your phone to motivate my husband, motivate my boo thing. I don't care if it's a text message. I don't care what it is. You pick the frequency. You want to do it every 3 hours? Go for it. But I'm telling you that we want that for the most part. Who cares why we want it? Who cares? I think that's too much. Who cares? At the end of the day, that's what we want. We didn't make our bodies. Apparently, that's how God made us.
So do you want to know why this can be difficult for women?
Why?
It's because I'm going to try not to be critical because we're actually going to talk about this in the chapter. Having a complaint versus criticizing someone, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes, give an example. When Jason washes the dishes, right?
I do a wonderful job, by the way.
If you leave a pot on the stove
that wasn't washed,
it's not that I don't see that you it's not that I don't see that you wash the dishes.
No,
but
I wash 99% of the dishes.
But I also
1%.
see this pot on the stove, and I just don't understand why it's there.
Ran out of gas.
So y'all want us to be appreciative of the fact that you washed most of the dishes, but you didn't finish the dishes. So in our brain, that's just not good enough.
Okay.
That's not good enough.
Okay. And that's why in one of the other podcast episodes, I talk about how y'all want us to, using a basketball reference, y'all want us to pull up a triple-double every single day. Mm-hmm. And,
that's what we do.
Maybe
sorry for yelling, you guys.
See? Y'all,
that's what we do. We clean the whole thing.
Maybe y'all are triple double. Maybe y'all are Russell Westbrooks. Y'all are triple double specialists. You know what I mean? But at the same, let's look at it this way. Are you gonna get mad? Let's say Jordan has a test to do at school, right? And I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She has a test, and she didn't finish the last answer. But she got all is 100 questions. She got all 99 of them right. And she just didn't finish that last one, right? Her hand was tired. I don't know. But she made a 99 on that test. Are you going to be upset because she didn't? Did she pass?
I don't feel like that's the same thing at all. Did she get a
great job?
I don't feel like that's the same thing
at all. You still got to tell them great job.
I don't think y'all feel like that's the same thing.
Okay, but I'm just saying, you still got to say great job. You know what I'm saying? You did a great job. How can we improve? You know what I'm saying?
But after you've been telling somebody the same thing over and over again, like, it's not your first time washing dishes, you know what the expectation is, right?
But guess what? It takes time to get to that level of expectation sometimes, especially if the expectation is up here, and it may not be up there to you. And sorry to put all these
exactly
to you. It might not be that it may not be that high for you because that's your life. You experience those experiences all the time, but in somebody else's life, right? Those experiences wasn't mine. So talk about me if you want to. I don't care. YouTube, you can talk about me. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I didn't wash dishes that much. So what? Now I gotta wash dishes every day. So guess what? It's gonna be a little shift. It's gonna be a little struggle. Okay. So just because I don't do 100%, it is what it is. I'm getting there.
Okay.
But some days I do 100%. So here's the thing: when I do 100%, go above and beyond. Then with the
it's just so funny that y'all like this because I see memes of of the funny memes of women saying, "Oh, when my husband loads the dishwasher and you got to do this," and like, woo, woo, woo. Like, I mean, you gotta just cheer them on. You did a great job.
See, the problem is you too concerned about how it works, right? Just or why it works. Just do it.
I think the problem
that's why we wired. So just do it.
That women do not. The problem is that we do this stuff all the time. And we do not get balloons and confettis and parades every time we wash the dishes. I think I've read like a couple of articles about how men, oh, you're such a great dad when they see you in the store with your children. But I'm in the store all the time with my kids. Like, women do this on an everyday basis, but y'all just get the red carpet laid out. You're such a great dad because you took your kids to the grocery store.
Babe, you should. My thing is,
I think that's what it is. It's like we don't feel like it's needed because we don't get that. We just do it. We just do it because it needs to be done. So
but you know what's needed for you guys?
What is
that's not needed for us?
What's that?
Is y'all want to? How do I look? How do I look? How do I look?
I'm still working on not rolling my eyes, y'all.
How do I look? And it's like, dang, baby, you look beautiful. We have to say that every single day, right?
Okay.
Right? Oh, don't try to cut
Not
down.
every day.
Babe.
Jason, come on.
No, I don't have to tell you that, right?
Yeah.
But I do, and does it make you feel good?
Of course.
Not, right?
Of course.
Of course. So I'm not concerned on why you got to get that every day, because you don't tell me I look handsome every day.
I'm okay with giving you your praises. But what I'm saying is,
I still want to be on this subject though. You switching a little bit.
Well, okay, because I don't tell you that you look handsome every day. No.
Right. Okay.
But
why?
I don't know, because it's just not practice. I haven't made it a habit.
I don't need it. So I haven't put that on you. But in the beginning, most guys, you might not tell your wife or your significant other, your girlfriend, you look beautiful every day, but she's gonna tell you, you didn't tell me, you didn't say my hair look good. You gotta pay attention. But I got my eyebrows done. You ain't saying nothing.
So I'm just
right?
I'm just trying to tell you why. I'm not saying that we shouldn't praise you guys, right? If this is what you guys need, fine, right?
No, y'all too concerned about why it worked that way.
No,
we not concerned about why you need that every day. We just gonna give it to you. You look beautiful, baby. You look beautiful, baby. You look wonderful.
What I'm saying is, I'm just trying to explain to you why it might be difficult for a woman to remember to do that. That's all. I'm just giving you the female perspective of why it may be difficult for us to remember to give you a standing ovation when you wash all the dishes.
But but who cares about if why it's difficult for me initially to tell you that you're beautiful every day?
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to explain to the men.
Y'all don't care about why it's difficult.
We do. We talking about each other's perspectives. So I'm just trying to explain to everybody. Now, I'm not saying that women shouldn't praise y'all.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I agree with this guy. Okay, this is what y'all need. This is what will help us. Right.
But with this attitude, I don't know why y'all need all that. That's you still, you know what I'm saying, deep down, you don't want to give it up.
I'm telling you, I'm explaining to you where that feeling comes from.
Okay, come on.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You understand why that could be a little difficult for a woman?
I mean, you about to tell me, right?
No, I already told you.
Oh, okay. Repeat it.
See what I got to deal with?
Repeat it for the people that missed it.
I'm explaining to you that we do that sort of stuff all the time, and nobody praises us for it. So it's not that we like mad at y'all or anything. It's just that we just don't remember like that it's a habit that we have to form to praise y'all for doing something that we feel like you should be doing anyway. Yeah. Because we don't get praised for it. So I'm just saying it so men can understand that perspective, and that you have to have patience. This is something that I do think, especially according to this guy, you guys need it. But if we don't do it all the time, this may be the reason why. But we're working on it. But
guess what? But I don't get bent out of shape if you don't give me praise about the kids and this and that and the third. But, well, anyways, go for it. We good.
Yes, you do.
No.
Okay, he says that a woman needs to appreciate her husband for what he already is, not for what he could become if he lived up to her standards. So we just need to appreciate y'all. Show your appreciation.
Yeah.
So he says a lot
of different ways.
Okay, he says for some men, admiration also helps them believe in themselves. Without it, these men seem inherently more defensive about their shortcomings. Often they hate to see a counselor because they do not want someone to be critical of them. While criticism causes men to become defensive, Admiration energizes and motivates them. A man expects and needs his wife to be his most enthusiastic fan. He draws confidence from her support and can usually achieve far more with her encouragement. So at the end of the day, ladies, it's just better to be encouraging than to criticize them.
For sure.
Okay.
It's way better.
But here's one thing though. First let's talk about criticism versus complaints real quick. So the author is not saying that you can't complain, right?
Yeah.
He's just saying, what did he say? He says, please understand, I do not recommend sweeping marital problems under the rug. I'd be the first to encourage spouses to express their grievances to each other, but do not do it disrespectfully. But to do it disrespectfully is ineffective and very damaging to a relationship, especially if a spouse has a need for admiration. Just make sure that you're being respectful. You don't have to, add all this, you a big disappointment to me and all this other stuff.
No, not a neck roll and you ain't this and you're just like your daddy and all this other stuff. we don't need to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? That's super damaging. And that can last a lifetime. Mm-hmm. Really, those types of things can take 20 years to kind of get that out the system. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's very important. Love and respect. We talk about that book all the time. Mm-hmm. That's a foundational thing. Respect is foundational for men. You know what I'm saying? And love is foundational for women. So the worst thing you can do to a man is disrespect him. Literally, women, the worst thing you could do to a man is disrespect them. Mm-hmm. Right? The worst thing, right? And the worst thing you could do to a woman is not love them and not show them love. You know what I'm saying? So, those kind of go hand in hand, but the respect thing is a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. So, but he would get women asking, okay, but what if your husband is a constant source of irritation? What if he always fouls things up? How can I learn to admire a man like that? Listen, Jason, I know you a superstar, right?
Correct.
But hey, there's some men out here that really need some help, and some women have married them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't fake admiration for you. How am I supposed to do that? Now he's saying, don't do it. Never do that. Right? Mm. Fake admiration.
Oh yeah, no fake admiration.
Right. So what if the man is just like really messing up?
Well, so you got to explain to them that in order for me to respect you, mm-hmm. right? This is good. Take notes, guys. Take copious notes.
Oh my gosh!
In order for men, say, baby, sit you down. In order for a woman, in order for me to admire you, right? I have to you have to give me some things that for me to admire, right? I have to certain things that you do is not admirable, mm-hmm. right? And in order, that's how I can admire you. Therefore, I would respect you. Mm-hmm. But these things that you're doing, from my perspective, you're disrespecting the family. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting the family. And let me show you from my perspective, how is that disrespectful for me? You know what I'm saying? So we have to figure out, how can we switch this up? So therefore I can admire you. And therefore there will be some respect in the household.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, let's just use an example of gambling. Right. You may have, I know gambling is a issue in our community and in other communities as well. But let's say you use a lot of money on gambling, right? And you may miss to pay a bill because you didn't gamble it up, right? So that's a big deal. So what you want to do, you got to sit that man down and say, look, we're a team. And I want to admire you, but do you see how your actions can cause the downfall of this family? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's not admirable. Therefore, it's hard for me to respect you when you're doing things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a difficult conversation to have.
It is a difficult conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I understand you could be like, hey, I understand you want this and that for your family. How about we do this? Right. Let's break down the budget where we can have some extra money so you can do some things because what you're trying to do, you're trying to make more money for yourself and for us. I get that, right? So let's set aside some money where you can use that to do what you need to do. And if you want to eventually wean yourself off of it, you can, but it's kind of hard to quit any habit cold turkey. You know what I'm saying? So you got to let them wean themselves off of it. But fellas, and maybe you have to do this. If you have issues and problems, you got to own up to it. You got to say, okay, I have this problem. You're right. You know what I'm saying? I need help. It's okay to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. And sometimes you might need to get that check to mama. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have trust in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So by giving that check and then she allocate the funds back to you, if she's better in finances, then it is what it is. So, pertaining to finances, I'm very good at finances. I always have been, right? I might, be a little bit more risky, but I'm good at finances, right? But I have to drop my ego. And fellas, we need to do this more. And ego stands for edging God out. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to not edge God out and have such a huge ego, right? It's not okay to have a huge ego, in my opinion. But by me dropping that ego, I have to go ahead and give it up to my wifey, because my wifey is actually better in finances. Oh, and it's okay to say that, even though at first it was so hard for me to say that.
It took like 6 years before he said that.
It wasn't no 6 years.
Yes,
man.
It was.
She cold. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to know your partner's strengths, and you got to know your strengths. Just because y'all have the same strengths in the same area, you just got to figure out who got it. Who got it? And she got it. I give it to her.
Yeah, it was a long uphill battle, but we made it. I appreciate you, Jason.
Thank you. She did physical touch on top of words of affirmation. So that's a bonus. That's like times 2. It's a multiplier.
So here's a way that the author, Dr. Let me see his name, Dr. Willard F. Harley Jr.
I'm just saying, something just came to me as an idea. We should have some type of game set up. Once you find out your mate's love language and their particular needs are, right, then you should have a certain point total to get to that number at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So by you doing physical touch, it tracks. It helps people with this that don't know how to do this. It helps them keep track. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be an app. Have you told them that you love them today? Have I told you look beautiful today? If that's your thing, you know what I'm saying? And the app will remind you, man, send a quick text. You know what I'm saying? Or,
okay, well, go ahead and get on that app creation.
Hey.
That's what Jason has awesome ideas. Hey. He does.
So go for it.
Okay, so he says that basically, in order for a woman to start admiring her husband, she should look for characteristics that she does value in him. Because sometimes people in general they get too comfortable and they take what the person is doing right for granted. And they don't, they just so busy criticizing or complaining about the stuff that they're not doing, that they're not appreciating the stuff that they do. And I think all of us do that. And we all have to be self-aware and conscious to make sure that we are, saying, hey, he messed this up, but he got this right. So let me tell him that. Right. So he, Dr. Harley, suggested an exercise for women to be able to, kind of identify what they admire about their husband, and basically just basing it on these 10 emotional needs and the woman's top 5. So it was affection, conversation, financial support, honesty and openness, family commitment. So the example that he gave in the book, the man was doing, majority of it's like basically 2 columns. Right. Write down behavior that you admire and behavior that destroys my admiration. So you list things. So for affection, for example, holds my hand when we're out together, hugs me when he comes home from work. Those were behaviors that she did admire about her husband. She didn't have any for things that he didn't do right, basically, right?
Yeah.
But for a conversation, she did have one that destroyed her admiration for him, and that was when I feel upset, he buries himself in his work and won't talk to me. Like he don't want to deal with her feeling upset. But he talks to her about how the day went, and he takes an interest in her daily activities. So he was doing that right, but one thing over here he wasn't doing right. Right. In the family commitment category, he didn't have any behaviors that she admired.
Right.
He was really messing up in the family commitment category.
Yeah.
And that was a very important emotional need to her that he was not, he just wasn't fulfilling.
Right.
So, you know, what he could do with this is say she listed some things that she particularly didn't like, so he can try to fix yourself, like we say in the military. Fix yourself.
Fix yourself.
And so he also says step 2 of like this process of working on, you know, a woman's admiration for her husband or vice versa, right? There's we've done plenty of disclaimers about this his and her situation, and understanding that we're talking about averages of what men and women like. And of course, every person is different. So please listen to the other episodes and you'll read about, you know, you'll hear about these disclaimers that the author put out and that we're putting out. Okay.
Right.
So he says from a practical standpoint, a wife will most successfully motivate her spouse to make changes in his behavior if she is willing to make a few alterations herself, because none of us are perfect, right?
Correct.
So there's some things that we could definitely be doing better.
Right.
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 Spouses need to prepare themselves for defensive reactions from each other when they read the list. It's hard to hear, like, you know, criticism, right? And, well, I should say complaints about you, about yourself, right? So it's hard to hear. So, you know, we need to do it with gentleness and kindness,
right?
And just be prepared that your spouse may get a little defensive, but
right,
you definitely want to deliver the message as best as you can, right?
At the end of the day, iron sharpens iron. You see what I'm saying? In order to improve, you got to know what you're not doing well, so you know what areas that you're not doing well, so you can improve on them.
Right.
And in order to get that, you got to get an assessment from somebody because it's hard to see yourself, right? It's hard. That's why when people say, oh, you're gonna be this or you're gonna be that, they can see something in you that you can't see yourself, right? So you take that advice sometimes, right? Oh, girl, you're gonna be an actress. You know what I'm saying? You might, oh, yeah, maybe I can be an actress. Yeah, they can see that. So same thing as you take the good things, you got to take the good with the bad. So if they saying that you need to work on this, you need to work on that, don't take it as they just jealous, they hating this, that, and the third. No, there are haters out there, yes, but there's some people out here that's truly just trying to help. And if you listen, especially some of your close friends, your close friends should be the ones that's telling you, I don't know if that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? You might want to listen to that because they're the ones that's close to you. They're not hating on you. They want to help. You know, so same thing with your significant other. She's with you. He with you all the time, talking to you all the time. So he or she has, if not more data than you have about your own self.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if they have more data, that's why it's easy. You know, some people say, well, it's easy to tell other people what to do or how to do what they would do in this situation. But when it comes to your own situations, it's hard. That's because you don't have enough data about you. You're not looking at yourself. You are looking through yourself. You're in it. You know what I'm saying? You're not watching yourself. Right? Right. So take that information and use it for your benefit, whether you feel like it's a hate or not, man, listen to it. Right.
Yeah. So, if you do this process, and I'm just giving a really quick summary. Dang. But the microphone.
Trying to kiss the microphone. Hold on, Mike. Don't be taking my wife. Hold up.
If you if you guys decide to do this together, you take your list and you try to change these behaviors, because this is what this whole series is about, is let's find out what our partner's most important emotional needs are, and let's just try to meet them. Let's try to meet each other's most important emotional needs, and both of us will be happy, and we'll all be all filled up. So, you take these lists and you try to change these behaviors. So here's the thing. It's a habit, right? You got to learn a new habit. So here's the step to learning a new habit. First, you got to define the habit that you want to form, right? So that's doing that list or whatever.
Yes.
Create incentives for repeating the habit and disincentives for falling back into old habits. Repeat the habit until it becomes almost effortless. So
Correct.
This is kind of going back to what I was telling you before about like sometimes women just haven't developed the habit of praising someone because of the way things are for us. Mm-hmm. So it is that. So that's what I was saying. Like, you may just have to be patient the same way we have to be patient with you when you're forming a new habit. As long as you guys talk about it and discuss it and say, hey, I'm really going to try, honey, to, make sure I show you my appreciation for the things that you are doing. Mm-hmm. It may take me, I may mess up, but I'm trying to form a new habit. So new habits take time. They take practice.
Yes.
But I was just telling you why it may be, that habit may be a really tough one for women to really get over. But it's not saying that we can't. We can tell you that we appreciate you, and we can communicate it. Okay. Yes. So he says, this is for the women, you may not have developed the habit of telling your husband that you admire him. Just because you feel pride or admiration does not mean you communicate it. Teach yourself to speak those words of praise, just as you have learned any other habit. At first, it may seem awkward, but as your habit develops, it will become smoother and more spontaneous. I was not good at speaking words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying from experience that this was, this kind of goes back to like 5 love languages. Like, I'm showing you that I love you and that I appreciate you for the things that you do. My love language is act of service, so I do everything.
She want me to work.
But I'm saying, before we found out about 5 love languages, I'm trying to show you how much I love you and appreciate you by doing things for you, because that's the way that's my love language. And I'm not even noticing all the things she's doing. No, because that don't even matter to him. He want words of affirmation and physical touch. That's what he want. Yeah. So, I've definitely gotten better at this, but this words of affirmation was low on my list. I don't really need a lot of words of affirmation. Right. So it's just it was probably like the last one, really. It probably was like the last one, right? Yeah. The least, like, I just don't need it as much. Right. And that's just not my motivator, right? So yeah, after I found out about 5 love languages, then I started, actively trying to make sure that I praise Jason, because that is the way that he receives love. So now it is much easier for me to do that. It's much easier for me to tell you that I appreciate you, because I've been practicing and doing it. But Jason, that's his love language. So Jason tell me how much he love and appreciate me every day. Multiple times a day. And I told him, I said, I feel bad because I be trying to keep up with you, right? Like, I'm trying to, tell you as much as you tell me, but I just don't think to do that. I'm running around doing stuff. I don't think to tell him all the time as much as he tells me how much he appreciate me. But I have gotten better, right? Oh yeah. Like, I do. Hopefully I say it enough. I tell you how much I appreciate you enough. Right. Right. Which one you think is number 1 for me? Physical touch or words of affirmation? I think it's words of affirmation. Yeah. And then physical touch was number 2. Yeah. But they were close. They were like maybe 1 point off. So basically both of them are very, very important to you. Right. Yeah. So I thought this part was interesting. He says sometimes a woman fears expressing praise too soon because her husband might stop working on behavior that has not yet become habitual. Like, I'm scared. You might quit. But no, actually it's fuel. It's fuel. It's motivation. So you want to keep going. You want to keep doing it. Yeah, don't withhold it. That means I'm not doing something right. You don't even give me praise for what I am doing. Right. Give me praise for what I'm doing. That's gonna make me want to do more. So simple. Yeah. Okay. So that is it, you guys. There's more in this book, of course. We spent a lot of time on it. Check it out. Read it. Check it out from the library.
Needs, her needs.
Get an audiobook, something. Listen to our podcast because we talked about it. Went into a lot of details, but there is definitely more that I did not go over. If you're reading it or something, we want to hear your thoughts. Let us know what part stuck out the most to you. What else, Jason?
Well, like I said, what are you talking about on this book in particular?
No, just on the whole series or whatever you want to speak about.
Yeah, man. This is an awesome series. This is the longest series we've done. Mm-hmm. It's 6 parts, right? We haven't, and so that should tell you a lot about why important this book is. His needs, her needs. So definitely dive into it. And learn and grow and be willing to receive. You know what I'm saying? Again, love is one of those things you can never get enough of. Even if your marriage is perfect, right? You always can learn more about love and how to love, right? And so, with that being said, we want to hear from you. Appreciate you for people that's dropping in the comments. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you don't like it, hit that like button twice, and that'll help out the algorithms, basically making it unlike.
Well, you can also do the little bell, I think, in the corner.
Yeah, bell notification.
And when we release a new episode, then you will get notified.
You ain't gotta wait on it. But right. On Wednesdays, we're doing a live discussion, right? So every Wednesday it's a live discussion. So we want to talk about it. We want to hear about you. If you got questions, you got concerns, all those questions that's in the comments and stuff, we're going to try to pick some and answer them during our live discussion. So make sure you put that out there for us. All right. Mm-hmm. And also, don't forget to go to loveologypodcast.com. I just shared this earlier, but yeah, go to loveologypodcast.com and come and shop with us. You know what I'm saying? We really appreciate all the different things that people are buying from us. We have backpacks, we have hats, we have all types of stuff, man. So go out and check us out, and we really appreciate it. Take a picture and post it on social media. Tag us in it so we can shout you guys out. So Patreon is another thing. We're on Patreon, so go to loveologypodcast.com. Find that Patreon button, pick a tier, and join us, because we're gonna have some new things coming up for y'all for all our Patreons. We're gonna be we're gonna be looking for some things for our Patreon. So we appreciate everybody that's what they're doing, whether it's you donating your money, whether you donate your time. We really appreciate it, because you're helping you, but you're also helping somebody else be helped as well. So I want you to understand that when that share button is not for us, right? That share button is not for us. When you click that share button, when you tell somebody, it's for somebody else. So not only you're helping yourself, but you're helping others as well. And we really appreciate it. We all need to come together and help each other. Absolutely. All right. That's it. Well, that's it, man. We're going to catch y'all next time, same place, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And we're going to catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye.